Whoa, they got dudes turning into plants, zombies, creatures. Wow, this comic book's awesome. I'm just kidding. It's just a blank piece of paper. What's going on, you guys, and welcome to another reputized video. Creepshow was directed by George A. Romero. That's right, the guy who invented the zombie genre. This movie is a Stephen King adaptation and is also an anthology series. The movie is divided into 5 different stories. So this movie starts with this abusive father who lectures his kid about him not wanting him to have a certain comic book called Creepshow. So as the parents goes downstairs, a skeleton appears right outside the little boy's window. And this boy's like 5 or 6, give or take. And he's joyful. He's happy to see it. Watch out for this kid. The movie transitions in this cartoony weird way to the comic book that had been thrown away by the father earlier, right after they had left the little boy's room. And it transitions, and the comic book opens up, and the first story appears, Father's Day. This one is all about an abusive father who gets killed by his own daughter, and then some years later gets resurrected somehow as a zombie to take bloody revenge, asking for his Father's Day cake. I want it. It's mine. The second story is called The Lonesome Death of Jordy Verrill, and it involves this meteor crash lands right out in front of this farmer's backyard. He makes the fatal mistake of touching it, and he turns into a weed. Sorry, my mistake. A plant. The third story is called Something to Tide You Over, and it's all about this couple who gets buried out the shore by this wealthy psychopath who tapes their murders, them drowning. Much to his surprise, they do come back for him as what they refer to as revenants. But I just call them water zombies. The fourth story is called The Crate, and it involves this janitor at this college who finds this crate that has a multi-fanged ape-like creature in it that eats people. The fifth and final story is called They're Creeping Up on You. It involves this real cruel businessman who gets pretty much attacked by these roaches that he absolutely hates in his penthouse that he claims is supposed to be roach protected, but clearly isn't. And they all gang up on him, and he has a fatal heart attack. I love this movie. The only complaint on it I have was the second story. I thought that was a little weak about the man turning into a plant. Stephen King played that part. He was pretty good in it, but it made me laugh more than get scared. The first and third story, Father's Day and Something to Tide You Over, was my favorite because I've always liked zombie stuff. The sounds in it was amazing. I love the way they made the zombie sound in Father's Day. The performances by Stephen King, Tom Savini, Ted Danson, Leslie Nielsen, Ed Harris, Tom Atkins, and many more was phenomenal. In the fourth story, The Crate, the guy was rambling and he kept on acting like he was laughing after everything he was saying. It was kind of funny.
It was that thing in the crate. I don't even know what it was.
What 2 people? Who is dead?
Mike, the janitor in Emerson Hall. Charlie Garris. He wanted to measure the bite marks, Henry. I guess he got his chance. I totally guess he did.
I can't do anything for you unless you stop being so goddamn deliberate.
It would probably drive anybody mad, but the way he was playing it, it was pretty funny. The only other complaints I have about this is like some of the stories never really quite explained everything. Like, why was that crate even underneath the college staircase that creature was in? There was a date on it marked 1834, and it was a Arctic expedition. So that tells me that maybe somebody captured this wild animal while in the Arctic and somehow brought it back to wherever that college was. I don't know. That was kind of confusing. Plus, the way that one ended, you'd think they would have made like a sequel story to it, but they never did. And that's not the only story that kind of ended on a cliffhanger. It was there were several stories that was like that just kind of ended like, oh crap, what the hell just happened? The cinematographer work by Michael Gornick was just fantastic, and I would notice that every time during a kill scene or a horror scene, the lighting would change, and it would make it feel just like a comic book. It gave you the feel when actually something was happening, and they would transition into like comic book form, and I thought that was pretty clever. The visual effects was phenomenal. The props was great. The direction by George A. Romero himself was awesome. I loved the way he did this whole thing as like the anthology series. He did something really creative and really smart and really good. The writing by John Harrison was phenomenal. Like some of the dialogue and some of the stories was a little cheesy, but I could get past that. All in all, Creepshow was really good. The editing was pretty good. As I said, like the transitions between scenes and like the lighting that would change to red when somebody would scream and all that was just it was pretty good. I mean, I've never seen it in anything else. To come think of it, that's the only movie I know of that they did something like that. If you are a horror fan and you enjoy good jump scares and real tongue-in-cheek scenes and that's just a little out there but still really good, I recommend this movie for you. I'm going to give Creepshow an A. Check back for some more reviews coming soon, and I hope you like this video. Click like, subscribe, and get reputized. Peace to rep out!